Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Kim with Creative Crafticality, and today is another Trash to Treasures video, and I will be making some flower embellishments made from recycled materials. Two different kinds. Here's one made out of book pages, and then these two flowers are made out of dryer sheets. Used dryer sheets. So I saved the dryer sheets and I'll show you how you can make some flowers out of them. So what you will need, and I'm going to pull you out here a little bit there. Alright. What you will need to make these projects for the book page flowers, you will need obviously a book page. And I had made an altered book. I got an old book from, it wasn't real old, it was from the thrift store, but it can be a vintage book or a book. You can find them at the Dollar Tree. They have them for $1 or whatever. But I had these book pages. And you need some distress inks, whatever color you want. And then also for this one you need a button, whatever color. I'm going to be making a turquoise flower, so I have some turquoise buttons here. And then you need a circle punch, 1-inch circle punch, or you can cut out 1-inch circles, whatever you have. And you need, also you need some liquid glue. So I have this Martha Stewart glue here. So that's what you need for that flower. For the dryer sheet flowers, you obviously need dryer sheets. You only really need one for one flower, but I can show you how you can cut out a whole bunch to make several if you want to make a lot of flowers. You also need some green cardstock for the leaves, and you need to punch out a circle for the bottom of the flower so you have something to glue the dryer sheets to. And then on these I used wet glue, but it takes a long time to dry, and I tried to use like my dryer to dry it a little bit faster, but it was just kind of hard to hold and whatever. So I'm going to try using the hot glue gun for this part. And then you also need a button. So I have some pink buttons here that I'm going to use to make another flower for you. And you need scissors. And then you also need a paper towel and a plastic to put underneath that. That's for when we use the distress and spray, paint spray. So, and then also if you would like to use some glimmer mist, I have some homemade glimmer mist that I made that I'm going to use, and I have some homemade paint spray here, and I'm going to actually use that on just a little bit. Well, no, I think I'll just use my glimmer mist when I make the book page ones, but for this I'm going to spray with the paint spray. So let's go ahead and make the book page flower first. So you will need your book page. Go ahead and fold it in half. This is, let's see, approximately 2.5, no, it's about 3, a little over 3, 3.25 by 5 3/8, or 5 3/4. So take and fold it in half, and you can fold it in half again. So you have 4 layers, and go ahead and punch there. You need a total of 6 circles. So we'll have a couple extra. Actually, for the project, you need 6 for the petals and then 1 for the base, so you have something to glue it on. So there we go. We have 4. We just need, or we have 8. We just need 7. So 6 for the petals and 1 for the base. All right, so you're going to take one of your circles and you want to fold it into a little cone, just like that. And you want to do that with 6 of your circles. So then get your liquid glue and the 7th circle that you have and cover it with glue. And then you just start taking your little circles that are into cones and put the point of the cone into the center. Lay that on there. And you'll do that with all of them. Just set them right next to each other, putting the point into the center. Like that. And then you can kind of rearrange them if you need to. Oops. That way. And then you put it down on your surface and make sure that you have the little flappies going in, like folded in, so you can put your button on top. Oops. There, like that. And then take your button. Let's see. A nice turquoise one here. I guess that one will work. And then I think I'm gonna, well, you can use the liquid glue or I'm gonna use the hot glue. I think it'll be quicker. So I'm just gonna put a little, oh, whoa, not that much. It came out quick. There. That's like a little bit too much glue, but it'll be okay. It really wanted to come out, I guess. So there. And then take your distress ink and if you want to distress your paper before, like as a whole sheet before you punch them out, like you could do some coffee dyed paper or tea dyed, or just distress, you know, use your distress inks and dye your papers. But I'm just doing it this way because I didn't do that beforehand. So now I'm just going to distress my edges with the little pad. I don't have any of those little distressing little pad things. I always just do it this way. That's the way they showed us how to do it way back in the day before the little distress, I don't even know what they're called. There's that. And then I'm going to take a little bit of my spray, oops, and get it kind of wet. This has pink paint in it, but I think it'll be okay. Just a little bit, just to activate the distress, or yeah, the distress ink. And then I'm going to add some of my glimmer mist. This is pink, but you can't really tell it. It's not like super bright. And add that. So I'll set that aside and let it dry a little bit more. And we'll go on to the dryer sheet flowers. So what you want to do is take 2 of your dryer sheets and fold them in half. And I just eyeballed the measurements on these, but I made 5 different sizes. So the biggest flower I cut was 2.5 inches approximately, but I just pretty much eyeball when I cut. And if you need to use like a top or something like this to trace, and or you know, whatever, you can make a template with paper first and then cut them out, but for me it's just easier to cut them out just by eyeballing them, and they're not perfect. It makes it look better that way, I think, when they're not perfect. So then you go through and gradually make smaller sizes, and that's what I did here. I'll pull them in. Started with my biggest and I went smaller, and I did 5 different sizes. So then what you want to do is take and layer each size to make a flower. And what I did too before I actually glued them together is that I took each individual one and I kind of scrunched them up, because it adds more texture, makes it more dimensional. So I went ahead and did that, and then layered them. You don't have to go directly one on top of the other, or you can, whatever you want to do. Just like that. So then you want to start gluing them together. Start with your base. So take your colored cardstock, whatever color you want your flower to be, or it could just be white. This is what you're actually going to glue them onto, because this is, you know, it's kind of sheer, so the glue is going to go right through it. So you want a base to put a little bit of a glue. Stick your largest one down on there. And then you can probably stick the next one down too, because the glue will kind of go through. Yeah. And then add a little bit more glue. Stick a couple more down. Like that. And then the last one, stick that down. And then your button will go down on top of that. What did I do with my button? Nope, I didn't pick one yet. I'll pick a button. I'm going to go ahead and use that one. Tiny bit more glue down. This is definitely a lot faster than using the liquid glue. It's drying faster because I'm going to go back in and spray. So before I add my leaves, I'm going to put my flower on the paper towel. And I'm going to spray it with my paint spray first, and then actually you can add, I pulled out some picked raspberry distress ink, so we can add some to the petals before adding the spray, just so it can add a little bit more color to it, because my paint spray is really light. Adding the pink to that, and then I'll spray it, and so it'll activate the ink. There. And I also have my shimmer mist, so I'll go ahead and use that. And we'll let that dry a little bit, and we'll be back, and I'll add the leaves. Alright, so my flower is dry, so I'm going to take my green cardstock and cut out some leaves. This is about 2 inches. Again, I'm just eyeballing them. Like that, and then just add a little bit of glue and glue them to the bottom. Look at that. A little bit more. There. Alright. There it is, guys. Super cute and fast. You can make a bunch of these really quickly. And of course, you know, you're recycling, so that's the good part about it. Here is the book page one we made earlier. So if you have any questions or comments, leave those down below. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Subscribe, and I will see you again next time. This is Kim with Creative Crafticality. Bye. God bless.